Hey everybody. So on Friday during your PD day, I get to come out for about 45 minutes and work with you on something that we think is pretty intriguing, something that might be really helpful for your classroom. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about a program called MyMetryx. And just to kind of give you a little bit of background on how this came about, a few months ago, Mark sent me an email and he wanted to know if there was anything out there that a CTE teacher could use to kind of track what students were able to do and what they weren't able to do and kind of know how that was progressing over time. And I guess what had happened was the cosmetology program has all of these learning criteria that their students need to do in order to be able to pass the final exam. And just wanted to find something that would help organize that in the best way possible. So we looked at a lot of different things, and one program that kind of stuck out was something called MyMetryx. And what we'd like to do on Friday is kind of take a look at what MyMetryx is and kick the tires a little bit. See if this is something that would work for your classroom, or if there's anything that we could suggest that they do to improve this so that it would work better for the Jackson Area Career Center. So what I want to do is, since I only have 45 minutes, I want to kind of get some of the stuff out of the way so we can make this as hands-on as possible. So here's what I want to do. Before I tell you what I need you to do before Friday rolls around, let me show you this video that kind of shows MyMetryx being used in action.
Tell me, what are you wearing?
I am wearing a blast suit that's rated for 1,000 volts. It's supposed to keep me safe if this pin was to blow up.
Okay. What I want you to do is, I want you to take a meter reading for me from one of the breakers to the neutral.
So we just poke this neutral.
What do you have for a reading?
117.
Okay, so you have 117 volts. Now I just want you to give me one final reading from the hot to the ground.
The hot to the ground.
You can use the can of the panel if you want.
0 volts.
Okay.
I have no power.
You have no power right now from hot to ground?
No power.
Okay. You want to recheck that measurement? Just well, right now, what are you reading as far as between the hot and the neutral?
The hot and the neutral?
Yeah.
So, from the hot to neutral, we currently have 117 volts.
Okay. And then how about the hot to the ground?
And the hot to the ground. We also have 117 volts.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to go over this with you really quickly. So, if we look here, move your mask up really quick. Using all shop and tool equipment safely and properly, I gave you 100% for that. Okay? Because you're donning the suit on correctly. Demonstrating knowledge of all regulations that apply to specific tasks in the job and occupational area, I gave you an 80%. What you need to work on is, unfortunately, you had the panel open and were ready to work on it before you were completely dressed.
Yeah.
So you would essentially broke the rules prior to actually engaging in the work. You needed to be completely covered.
All right, so I hope that gave you just kind of a glimpse of how some CTE teachers are using this. So here's what I'd like to do. Like I said, there's no way I'm going to be able to make you an expert in 45 minutes. So instead, let's try to get as much of the back-end stuff out of the way so we can do as much hands-on stuff as possible on Friday. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to go to the MyMetryx website, and I want you to register for that. Okay? And if you can be registered and all set to go, if you want to dive in, you're more than welcome. If you don't, that's no problem. But if you can log in the day of, that would be a huge help. Also, what I'd like you to do is make sure that you bring either a laptop or an iPad. Since this is web-based, it'll work on either of those. If you don't have something that you can use, let us know so that we can have that there for you. And also bring some of your either criteria or learning objectives or whatever it is that you want to be able to track in your classroom. Bring a copy of that so we can do something that you can use in your classroom right away. Anyways, I know this was just a really fast introduction to MyMetryx, but we'll talk more about that on Friday. I'll see you then.